Hi, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome wherever you may be in the world and wherever time it might be for you. My name is Rob Finlayson, and I'm joined today by my colleague Katie LeBlanc and one of our amazing students, Anushree. And together, the three of us are going to speak with you all about employment and co-op and employability at Carleton University. This is a really good and exciting topic, guys, because we have a lot to share with you because Carleton is really, really active in this space. For you sitting here today thinking about going to university and starting this academic journey, it might feel a bit strange to think about working after graduation. It feels like a long, long time from now, perhaps. But I think those in the know understand the benefits and the value of preparing for a professional life post-graduation right from the very beginning. Because, of course, gaining the skills you'll get from a university and through all of the different activities you can take advantage of at Carleton is going to make you well placed to succeed. And we're really happy to share with you, I think, that Carleton is an exceptional choice for this purpose because there are many, many different reasons, I would say. But one of the big ones, I guess, is because our students get jobs. Oops, sorry, my slides advanced there. We're really happy to share that most of Carleton students, over 90%, are able to find meaningful employment in their fields within the first year of graduating. And this is substantiated by a few things. One would be the QS rankings, which lists Carleton in the top 10 for graduate employability, and also by all of the great feedback we get from employers and in terms of feedback we get from students as well. So there's many different ways we're able to accomplish this. And I think one of them, of course, is our key program, our cooperative education program. And we're going to spend a great deal of time talking about that today. But there are many other ways we can provide you with skills that you're able to layer on top of each other. And collectively, all of these things make you an exceptional choice for employers when you finish. And again, it reflects back in that very positive number of most of our graduates finding employment quite quickly once they finish their degree. So beyond co-op, there's many different ways you can build professional experience into your degree at Carleton. One I would highlight has to do with choosing Canada as a destination for post-secondary studies, because of course here in Canada, you as international students have the ability to work and study simultaneously. So this is something many Canadian university students like to do. I certainly did it. Many of my friends did as well, which is, of course, part-time employment as you move through your degree. And of course, as an international student, you can do that both on or off campus. So you can gain some really great skills in terms of job hunting, putting a resume together, and earning money as a student as well. But as a student, some of your programs will actually have internships built right into them. So that would be professional experiences that are designed to augment and complement what you're learning in the classroom. You also have opportunities to get involved in research as an undergraduate student. I know Emily mentioned this as well, but that really is quite rare for a university for an undergraduate degree. So being able to get funding for university research as a bachelor's degree student as well. Fieldwork, practicums, and placements, more than 300 student societies at Carleton, and many different ways that you're able to kind of build different experiences that collectively give you a whole skill set that employers find to be really, really valuable. One of our key programs in this area, though, of course, is our co-op program. This is where you get professional paid work directly related to your degree. My colleague Katie will tell you more about this.
Hi, thank you, Rob, and welcome everyone. My name is Katie LeBlanc, and I work with the Cooperative Education Program at Carleton. As Rob said, this is one of the ways that you can earn real-world work experience that's related to your degree while you're actually studying at Carleton. So when we say co-op, that's a short form for cooperative education, and that's because the program is a cooperation between the university and our employers as well as our students. So we all work together for the success of the program. Co-op means that you are earning paid work experience for up to 12 to 16 months while you're earning your degree as well. The wages that you might be paid as a co-op student can vary. They are determined by the employer, so you have a real employment relationship with the person or the employer that you're working with, and you can earn at minimum $15.50 per hour, all the way up to $30 an hour, and there's some variation on that depending on your program. One question that we get quite often is, what would my salary be if I'm a co-op student? And if you Google Co-op Carleton salary survey, you'll come up with actually a full list of the salaries that our students earn while they're out on work terms, which gives you a good idea. And our program in Ottawa at Carleton is one of the largest in the province of Ontario. We place students in almost 4,000 work terms each year. And so we have a huge team of people who are here to support students getting jobs and being successful in the workplace. And we also have a team of employees who are working with employers, generating job opportunities and making sure that we have enough opportunities for all the students in the program. Next slide. So there are some advantages to being part of the co-op program. Oh, if you could go up one, Rob, to the advantages. Oh no, this is where I'm going next. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to go with the advantages. So there are a lot of advantages to being part of the cooperative education program at Carleton. Number one, as we've mentioned, is you can actually apply the concepts that you're learning in your class and the theories that you're learning to the workplace. So you can really learn how applicable your academic studies will be in the workplace. As well, in Ottawa, it is an amazing labor market in Ottawa. We have options to work with government sector, that could be provincial government as well as federal government. And we have a thriving private sector here in Ottawa, which includes technology, business, and all sectors across the board. With co-op, you get Canadian work experience if you choose to work in a Canadian location, which is beneficial to you, especially if you're wanting to stay longer in Canada after you graduate. And at Carleton, we have the option of longer work terms. So if you're in cooperative education, you're either studying full-time or working full-time from the time that you start cooperative education. So the intention is that while you're studying, you're focused on your studies. While you're working full-time for periods of 4 months in duration, but you might work more than one work term in a row. So you might work 2 or 3 work terms in a row, which gives you 8 to 12 months of experience in co-op terms all at once. And that can give you a bit more depth of experience, and it can also give you the opportunity to change employers if that's what you would prefer to do. Next slide. So co-op is an integrated learning program, and what we mean by that is that it is experience that you're gaining in the workplace, but it's actually integrated into your schedule while you're at Carleton. So again, you're either studying full-time or working full-time while you're pursuing your degree. You would do either 3 or 4 work terms as part of cooperative education. So depending on your program, you might require 3 work terms or 4 work terms in order to complete all your co-op requirements. These are full-time paid employment opportunities and supported by co-op staff. So we support you not only in learning how to search for a job and obtaining your first work term and subsequent work terms, but we will support you while you're in the workplace so you're not left on your own. If you have any trouble in the workplace or questions about how you should be approaching your supervisor or working better with your team, you can come to the co-op staff for any help that you need. Next slide. So some additional co-op advantages. Here at Carleton, like I said, we're one of the largest co-op programs in Ontario, and we're a very well-recognized program. Employers know who we are, and they come back to us year after year to hire students from our programs. So we have a huge roster of employers who are very loyal to us, and they use co-op hiring as part of their overall staffing strategy. So you're a real employee with that organization. You're not sort of shuffled off to the side doing side projects. You're working on the projects that are priorities for that employer. We also have a team of staff who are out there searching for new employment opportunities. So we're always looking to broaden our roster of employers and are also always looking for student feedback on which types of employers you would like to work with. You can explore career options by participating in more than one work term. And again, you have the option of completing all of your work terms with one specific employer and getting a depth of experience with one employer, or you might choose to search for different work terms and try a variety of different things to really get an understanding of what you would like to do. It's pretty common at this stage to not really be sure what you would like to do for your career, and co-op is a really great way to learn what you enjoy doing, but also what you would rather not be doing in your career. Because co-op is paid, the work terms are paid, you have a chance to reduce your student debt through the wages that you earn while you're on a work term. And if you complete all of the requirements successfully, so again, that's either 3 or 4 work terms, depending on your program of study, you would receive the co-op designation. It will be written on your degree when you graduate. And that's a value add for a lot of employers. It shows that you started and completed the program, and it's proof that you have the work experience that you would have earned through co-op. Next slide. This is a quick view of just some of the employers who are part of our regular employer roster. So you can see there are a variety of employers representing opportunities with business, with technology, with engineering, with architecture, software. It really runs the gamut. So you might recognize some of the names of these employers. And again, these are firms that come to us every year to hire our students. And in addition, we have some smaller employers that we work with that you might not have ever heard of, but who provide equally great opportunities for our students. Next slide. So now I'm going to introduce one of our students, Anu Shri, who is a co-op student who completed her work terms here in Ottawa, and I'll let her provide you with the details of her experience. Over to you, Anu Shri.
Thanks, Katie. Hi, everyone. My name is Anu. I'm an international student from India, and I'm in my 4th year of undergrad studies at Carleton. I'm majoring in business law. And I actually just finished my co-op at Carleton. I started, I think, in fall 2021. I did my first 2 co-op terms at the co-op office here at Carleton. I worked with Katie and some of the other staff members. And my last co-op term was at the Public Health Agency of Canada, which is the federal government. And I worked there as a junior policy analyst. Honestly, my co-op term has been it's been incredible. It's been really, really helpful. I got an opportunity to meet a lot of different people. I got networking opportunities. And I also worked on a lot of different projects with a lot of different team members, which really helped me develop skills and helped me get valuable experience that will come in handy after I graduate and when I'm looking for jobs. And not only looking for jobs, but this experience and the skills also, they come in handy when you're studying. So for me, it was incredible. It was an amazing opportunity, and I'm really, really happy I did it.
Hey, it's Rob here. Sorry, I'm just going to jump in because you said some things that caught my attention that I thought might be fun to explore a little bit. So you talked about doing different co-op experiences, including having a few at Carleton University. I'm curious to know how would you say the different types of work environments allowed you to maybe explore the world of work and perhaps get a better understanding of like the type of job or career you might want to pursue when you finish your degree?
Good question. Thank you. So all the different things that I did, they really helped me better understand what I want to do in my future, what kind of job I want to do. When I started co-op, I wasn't very sure. I wasn't really sure what what career I want to pursue. But after doing my first co-op and after doing my first co-op, I realized that I'm more, interested. I liked the job, no doubt. I liked doing everything there, but I realized I was more interested in researching and writing, and that experience and the skills that I gained, that really helped me look for more jobs related to what I was interested in. And that's when I applied to the government, and I got an opportunity to work with them, doing research, working on policy framework, and basically stuff I was interested in. So my one advice for everyone would be, do not restrict yourself. Apply to as many jobs as you can, because you never know when those skills and experience might come in handy. Just an example, when I started working at the co-op office, I was reviewing resumes. I was creating job postings. I was doing all sorts of administrative duties, and I had never imagined that they would, be useful for me, but they honestly were. When I started working for the government, my current employer, she's the human resource advisor there, and I got to help her with creating jobs for the government and reviewing resumes and identifying potential candidates for the government. So those skills that I gained working for the co-op office, they really, really came in handy when I was working for the government.
Yeah, I think that's really an interesting point that you've just made, because I think as job seekers, as all of us are, might become one in the future, it's all of the different experiences you have collectively that create this bedrock of experience that you have to market yourself, and sort of starting in one area, learning more about that, but thinking you might want to expand into this. It's a learning experience, right? And each thing that you do gives you a broader basis to go on to the next thing. So I think that's one of the very wonderful kind of hidden benefits of co-op, if you will. Katie, for you mentioned that we have the second largest co-op program in all of Ontario, with a huge, extensive sort of database of potential employers. For our audience today, for international students, are you able to talk a little bit about the potential of sometimes maybe finding a co-op placement back home if you have like family connections or something?
Sure. So we do have plenty of students who would prefer to work in their home location, whether they're coming from somewhere else in Canada or another country around the world. So if you find a position on your own, which we encourage students to search for their own positions, as well as to apply for jobs through our specific co-op portal that's reserved for co-op students. If you find a position on your own, all we would ask is that you send us some information. There's a form you would fill out to have it qualify towards your co-op as a co-op work term. So we would have to review it and make sure that it's full-time, that it's paid, that you have a supervisor who's willing to support you throughout the time, and that it's related to your area of study enough that it would count as a co-op term. So we do have plenty of students return to their homes in order to work. And if you would like help finding jobs in your home location, we have staff who will help you do that as well. So let's say that really is your primary area of focus, or you have a particular location where you'd like to work, you can sit with your co-op student advisor and they can help you come up with a strategy for finding work in that location or that niche industry area that you're looking for.
Yeah, I think that's really important, because we know there's certain jobs where there's a collection or a group of businesses related to that in one location, whether that's like video game development industry based out of Vancouver or aerospace sector or something like that. So there's an opportunity to kind of really go to where the interesting work could be if that's what you wanted to do. One question for you, Anu, before we move on to the next section. I know that you're in your last co-op term and that you're going to be graduating soon. Just curious to know what you're going to do post-graduation. What do you think?
I actually finished my co-op in summer. I'm studying right now and waiting to graduate in December. After I graduate, I'm planning on working for a bit, because I really, really enjoyed my experience at the government, and I want to work a little more, get a little more experience before I give my LSATs and plan and go to law school. So I kind of want to expose myself a little more to the work environment and to different experiences, because I feel like that experience and everything I learn while working, it will really be helpful when I go to law school, because I'll already have some experience there. So it'll make my studies easier.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us today. I think the students will have found that quite interesting. All of the amazing opportunities you can do with co-op and where it might lead you. We have a few more examples that Katie will speak to.
Sure. So I thought it might be helpful to see a couple of profiles of some of our successful students who, like Anu, will have graduated with the co-op designation. And Ritika is one who completed 2 work terms with Ericsson while she was a computer science student at Carleton. And this is a testimonial from her employer where they said within 1 month of working with Ritika, we knew that we absolutely needed her back in the company. And in fact, after graduating, she is still working with Ericsson as a full-time developer. And she has come back to Carleton to hire some of our current co-op students as a graduate herself, which is really rewarding for the co-op program to see that, you may be a student today, but you're a potential employer in the future. And I can also tell you a bit about Sarita. Sarita was a science co-op student who worked with Health Canada for several work terms. And she has now graduated and is working as a research technician with the Ottawa Hospital Research Institute. She's a full-time employee there now after having graduated with her co-op designation. And so she enjoyed co-op because it allowed her to learn new things each day, which can sound a little daunting, but was really rewarding for her as well. I can speak a little bit to some of the other opportunities, things you would learn as a co-op student, or things you might have the opportunity to do as a non-co-op student through different programs as well. So Carleton is all about employability, and we have a lot of opportunities for students to access not just the co-op program, but if for some reason your program does not have a co-op option, or if you don't, if you have a reason not to pursue the co-op option yourself, there are other opportunities such as internships. You can do international exchanges abroad. We have opportunities for you to learn how to do an effective job search, how to network. We have resume support and interview support. Those services are all offered out of our Career Services office, which is open to every Carleton student and every Carleton graduate. So you would have access to that office even after graduating. And we have volunteer opportunities that are offered through our job board as well. We can help you with career planning. We can help you with choosing a major if you get here and you decide you're not sure you've chosen the correct major. You can come into Career Services to have that conversation. As well, we have specific job boards for Carleton students. We have large career fairs that host sometimes up to 60 employers and several thousand students coming to speak with our employers at least twice a term. And networking events as well. So we have co-op specific networking events as well as university-wide networking events that bring employers to our campus. And those are really great to go to because you know for sure that those employers are here specifically to meet students, which takes some of the nerves out of the equation. So you know that you're sort of the featured attendee at that event.
So basically, you're very well supported at Carleton, and that's something that we're really proud of. Obviously, the work piece is a really big part of it. So being able to work professionally as a student through the co-op program or perhaps through an internship and build that professional dimension as a student, having a resume, a LinkedIn profile, a network of business contacts, that's huge. But we do a lot of work beyond the academic space to help students also build skills that employers find hugely valuable as well. First and foremost, obviously, it's the degree itself. So in our classrooms here at Carleton, there's a lot of opportunities to be put into situations where you'll have to employ critical thinking skills to solve complex problems on the fly. And so going through these different experiences in the classroom, in group work and projects, in labs, perhaps on an overseas exchange, you're going to gain skills that I think employers see as being hugely valuable for being able to navigate the complexities of the work world, and of course, to be a global citizen as well. Other opportunities at Carleton, of course, we have our international internship program, which allows for all Carleton students that are interested to study overseas and gain academic credit, work overseas and gain academic credit for that experience. And there's bursaries available to help facilitate that for you as well. We're also really proud of the fact that Carleton is one of the most accessible universities in the world. So all students can study at Carleton regardless of disabilities. And our Act to Employ program is designed for students that may have a disability, enter the workforce and get professional experience as well. Our iCurious program is undergraduate research funding. So as we mentioned earlier in the presentation and at some of the other sessions as well, Carleton undergraduate students can actually get valuable research experience at the bachelor's level, which is quite rare. So certainly something that I encourage you guys to consider and to take advantage of as well. And then, of course, beyond that, we have many exchange opportunities. Carleton actually partners with 140 different universities in 35 different countries around the world. So being able to get an international experience, to study at a partner school and have those degree credits count towards your degree at Carleton, learning about the world by doing that as well is something you could do, but also other things like our alternative spring break program, where students actually use that spring break time to go overseas and do some development work and volunteer work as well. And then, of course, more than 300 clubs and societies. So whether you get involved in student governance, whether you get involved in professional club like the Engineering Students Association, or whether you play sports, you do gain leadership skills through those experiences as well. And you can document all of that through your co-curricular record at Carleton as well, which ostensibly allows for you to document and track all of the great things you do outside of the classroom. So overall, I guess I just wanted to close with the idea and the impression that you guys are really well supported on your journey as you navigate the undergraduate degree and as you think about life after graduation, which I'm sure today seems like a million years from now. You can be really confident that at Carleton, you're going to have the skills you need to succeed post-graduation. So we look forward to talking to you all about this in more in-depth at our table. We're going to have a table to discuss this topic in greater detail after this session. So certainly join us there if you have more questions. And the final session is going to be residence and student life. So it's an amazing topic, and I think you should all join that one as well. But before we break for that, we're going to have a video from one of our students. So thank you, everyone.
Hi, future Carleton student. My name is Reinho, and my friend and I are at the entrance of library. And
hi, I'm Leo.
I'm Lenny.
My name is Sandy.
I'm from Malaysia.
I'm Chinese.
I'm from China, Guangzhou.
I'm from Vietnam.
We are currently studying
environmental engineering.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of weather outside? We can stay outside, right? So that's why we are gonna study in the library.
Yes.
And the library is a quiet place to study. So when before the midterm, you can study with your friends. And we have a quiet study floor at 3rd floor and 5th floor.
Yeah.